Alright, hands are full.
Yes.
Will I put a paper in the bank for you there?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right.
The money will be gone in the bank. And they had a sister out here.
Sorry to interrupt you. Anybody for free paper?
No, grand, thank you.
Okay. Anybody for free newspaper? So something to eat.
I know.
So that'll cover everybody, will it?
Yeah.
Thanks. Oh, be careful, yeah. No, don't leave him up there. I knew a chap. He's only 6 years of age. He fell off that wall. He was brain damaged for life. Yeah.
That's 6.
Well, a paper, by the way. Give me a free paper. Okay.
Well, I wouldn't read it. Maybe you
I would, yeah, I read it. Thanks very much.
She's open-minded to see. I'm not saying you're closed-minded. But they say 80% of books are read by women, you know?
Women?
Are great readers of books.
Really?
Yeah.
I suppose, yeah, it makes sense. Like, you know more women reading than men.
They've nothing to do, I suppose.
Oh, don't say anymore.
Some reading that paper.
That's no marvellous. The next one is out soon anyway. Free newspaper. Want to give it a go?
Huh?
Free newspaper. Good try.
Okay.
Alright. Alright, free newspaper. Here. Right. I like a free newspaper.
Huh?
We're giving away a free newspaper.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Come on, thank you.
Right. Oh, care for a free newspaper? You might as well, sure.
Yeah. Glasses, but sure, I'll take it anyway.
Oh, when you get home, sure, that's
I'll
really
bring
good.
back to the car. Thanks a million.
Okay, sure. Right. Care for a free newspaper?
Sure. No, not that one.
Alright. Hello? Anybody care for a free newspaper? No, thank you. Okay. Like a free newspaper? Give you all the news you don't get in RT. Sure, RT is scaremongering people all the time, you know? With long COVID, climate hoaxes and all sorts of things, you know?
That we're grand, no,
If the wind blows too strong in some place, oh my God, we're doomed.
no, we're okay.
Okay then. Newspaper. Okay. Newspaper. Okay. How much is that? Okay. Huh? You take one, will you? What? No, it's free. You don't want to give me any money.
Okay.
You can put it in the poor box instead, yeah?
Yeah, okay.
Alright, so we enjoy it now.
Yeah.
See, explains all about the Tombs babies, what happened there,
Oh, yeah.
you know? Yeah. Alright then. Right. Free newspaper, anybody? Oh yeah. Like a free newspaper? No.
Huh?
A free newspaper. There you are now.
Thanks.
Keep you reading.
Thank you.
Right, sure. Alright. Free newspaper, anybody?
No, thanks.
They're free.
Oh, yeah, I'll get one off you. Thanks very
Right,
much.
good one yourself. Well done.
Thank you.
Right. Anybody for a free paper? Like a free paper? No. Free newspaper. It's a free newspaper. It's Irish Light. It's a current affairs paper, you know.
Okay.
But we don't charge anything.
Okay, look, thank
Oh,
you.
okay.
Yes, please.
Thanks. Hi.
Hiya.
Would you like a free newspaper?
Yeah, please.
Sure.
Thanks a million.
Okay then.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hi. Like a free newspaper? There you are.
Very much.
Okay. Hello. Like a free newspaper? We're having your trips here. Yeah, there you are. How about yourself? Are you on one family, are you? Are you all together? Okay. There you are. There you are now. Free newspaper. Go on, go on.
No, right, thanks.
You sure? This newspaper gives you all the news you don't get from RTE. Sure, run it.
Thank you very much.
Right. Yeah. Free newspaper. Free newspaper. Current affairs.
I wouldn't read a newspaper like this, saved me life.
Well, I wouldn't. I absolutely agree with you because it's all fake news.
Yeah.
Except this one.
That's what the news. Just standing there, thanks very
Well,
much.
you're right there. Right. Free newspaper. Like a free newspaper. Free newspaper. So, where do you want a free newspaper to give away? Yeah. Okay, stop. Free newspaper. Hi, like a free newspaper.
Yeah, cheers, thanks.
Hi. The two gone there now.
Yeah, no, it does.
Free newspaper. Anybody? Give it a try. Come on, give it a try.
Why not?
You have nothing to lose. Hi. Like a free newspaper?
Thank you.
Alright. Hi. Like a free newspaper? Right. Anybody for a free newspaper?
Nice.
Alright. How about him?
How do we
What?
comment to Ireland is full?
Ireland is full.
Full.
Full of people. We have numerous numbers ourselves, and the government have left that situation fester for 30 years. Nothing's done about it.
So what's the solution?
The solution is home unfortunately before. Charity begins at home. You have every sympathy with a genuine refugee. But I mean, if a fellow coming into the airport and had I can endure it. I put my passport down, I wouldn't be allowed back in. You know?
I have to strongly disagree with you, and I think it's the most unchristian thing for anybody to say.
Well, what's unchristian about it? You look after when you're a Christian, you look after your family, look after your neighbours, look after your country people first before you look after. Now, that doesn't mean you don't look after people worldwide, but you should have a priority, right? Of looking after.
If I said to you, what Christian explain it to me, do unto others as you do unto yourself.
Yes, right. Okay.
So,
But you
you shut the door on you're going to shut the door on someone else.
we're not shutting the door on anybody.
Yeah.
No.
And the
In
thing
every
is-
country in the world has the same rules, right? You're a citizen of the world,
Yes.
right? If you come into the country,
Yes.
you come in on a visa, you come in on a visit.
Yes.
You can't become a citizen just overnight. You can't be just allowed into the country and saying, well,
Yeah.
you can do what you want. Every country has that rule. So they're all Christian, aren't they?
So what are we going to do? The non-Irish people are in Ireland. What are we going to do? We're going to shut up our hostels, shut up everywhere. Because
they should organise to get them back home.
So you're going to cherry pick the people that are going to come in.
No, you don't cherry pick. You pick genuine people.
You're not recording me now.
Well, I'm reporting everybody. Yes.
You should have said that.
You'll be on the telly tonight.
No, you should have said that. No, I think it's a very unchristian thing to do. It's my opinion. We live in a democracy.
But you're not. You see, you're not answering the question, right? Okay. I mean, don't you look after your family first?
Yes.
If a stranger came to knock at your door and your family was starving, who would you feed first?
I would feed both.
Oh no! If you could,
no,
you could only feed your family.
I just give you an idea. No, I'll give you an idea.
Okay.
I know a certain person.
Yes.
And he's homeless. And I would invite him to stay there 2 days a week.
Yes, very good. Yeah.
And I don't care what nationality he is.
Well, that's fine. That's grand. That's up to you.
And I welcome a person with open arms.
Yes.
And I think it's despicable that we as a country has gone this way. I mean, where was Paddy back in the 50s and 60s? If England shut the door on Paddy, if Americans shut the door on Paddy,
yeah, okay, America, and Paddy was over in England.
Paddy was in Australia.
Paddy was over in England. He was told no dogs are Irish allowed, right? The first slaves in America were the Irish, right? You see, I mean, these people.
But they still stayed there and prospered.
No, the English people were happy to have them because they built the roads for them. Oh, they were delighted with them. Absolutely, they were cheap labour.
Yeah, and how about I give you a case? Say, my wife couldn't get a job in Ireland.
You think that wasn't the goodness of their heart?
No.
Huh?
Couldn't get a job in Ireland. Had to go to get trained in a profession in England.
Yes.
He took her on the pad, but Ireland couldn't look after them.
Well, that's the market. That's the market. That's the market.
The market dictates if we need people, bring in people.
If we need them, we don't need them. We need to look after. We need to look after our own people. You know. We need to prioritise. You have to prioritise.
No, I prioritise. We should be citizens of the world.
No, you're a globalist then, are you? You're a globalist, so are you? Yeah, you don't care about Ireland. You don't care about our country or our people.
I do care about Ireland.
Yeah, your first loyalty is to your national anthem and to your own people.
Well,
not the world. The world is,
we are one. God created one person.
Yes, yeah. He collected one race.
Are the nations.
He collected one race.
Nations.
Yeah, we collected one race, the human race.
Yeah.
Right. There's no such thing as a black race or a white race or a brown race. We're all human race. Right? Don't you agree?
Yes. Yeah. We should all support each other.
Yeah.
And I do not believe for one instant Ireland is full.
Okay, you take it for instance that a month ago, people up in near Santry there, right? A little village.
Where now?
The little village in Santry, right?
Santry's not a little village.
It's called Turnpike. A little village beyond Santry, right, in Dublin. They were terrified. Suddenly came into their village about 200 single men. Now remember this now. If these are refugees, where are the women and children? Where are the old men? They're all between 30 and 40. So these women went up to protest, right? And they were blocking the entrance to the place, right, for the buses. A riot squad turned up at 2 o'clock in the morning and used violence against them. These were people with their walking sticks and their Zimmer frames.
Come on. No.
Yes.
Whipped up by hysterical people.
No, that's what happened. That's what happened. It's all there.
Yes,
you see, it's all there. Right now. No. Are you denying it happened?
Pardon?
Are you denying it actually happened?
Are you denying to tell me there's 200 and that case there was supposed to be people with all criminal convictions?
No, you're changing. You see, you're changing the
press release was given.
What
to 200? These people come in, we don't know where they come from, or they're murderers, or they're rapists.
They're terrified. They're terrified of what's going to happen to them.
Well, we are that.
And these fellas, these immigrants are going out with cameras and take photos of children.
What do you do? Go around taking photos?
Well, I have that for my protection.
You take photos of children?
Of course I'm not. What would I be doing that for?
I don't know. How do you know the other people?
These are for my protection.
Yeah, but how do you know those people are taking photos of children?
It's all there on the internet. It's all out there.
The internet
on film.
is right.
On film. You can see them.
The internet is God.
No, the film.
Internet
No,
is God.
there is video of them.
If you go to the internet will tell you
What?
that the man never landed on the moon. It's a film site. If you want to go to the internet.
Yeah, it was a fake. The moon landing was fake.
Yeah. If you want to believe, that's what tell the internet you believe.
No, the moon landing was fake. Did you realise that?
No.
Why is nobody? Okay, why is nobody? It's 54 years since the wait now. Ask this question. It's 54 years since the moon landing, the first moon landing, right? It was called the first moon landing. Why wasn't there a second? Why has there never been a second? Why are fellas going down to the bottom? Why are fellas?
There's been 3 moon landings.
No, there hasn't been.
How many?
There's no moon landing. There has been no moon landing since.
How many you said there's only ever one moon landing?
Richard Nixon was on
Did you say there's only one moon landing?
It was claimed there was a moon landing, but there was no moon landing at all, right?
So
Richard Nixon was on
3 moon landings.
Richard Nixon was on a landline to the astronauts. A landline. Where were the telephone wires going up to the moon?
Satellite.
Right.
Satellite.
No, satellite doesn't work. You can't. You have to have mass.
Satellite.
Radio mass. No, satellite doesn't work like that.
How come you can come along, you can talk to a ship 40 miles out at sea?
Yeah.
Where's the mass out at sea? Satellite bounces up. Wait, I'll give you an idea. If I want to ring you,
but there are no satellites on the moon.
Hold on. If I want to ring you on your phone.
But a landline.
No,
I'm
ringing. I want to ring you. So where's it go? I ring you, go straight up to the sky, bounce off receiver, down to your network and back there. If there's the phone line for you and me, it goes straight up 1,000 miles.
It doesn't work unless you have mass. It doesn't work. You have to have mass. You don't get your television. You have to get your television. Mass. You go look up there. Just look up there now. The guard barracks up there. The huge mass they've up there.
Yeah.
Why do they have that? If they could just get it off the satellite.
I get my television off a satellite.
Yeah.
I have the cable
and
in
then
the
a
house
photograph.
and getting television.
Then a photograph of one of the astronauts, right? And the big shadow in front of him. How do you get a shadow?
One shot to the left, the other shot.
And how
to the
come?
right.
Listen, the 3 astronauts would never swear. They would never swear in the private that they were there, right? And Buzz Aldrin said, "What you saw was a fabrication." When the astronauts, he said, "I went on the show." A fella said, "Oh, I was watching you, and my parents came me down to watch you on the moon." No, you didn't. You didn't. You saw what you saw was a fabrication. So there you are.
I think you're reading too many comics.
It's not comics, I'm afraid.
Look, we agree to differ.
Yeah,
But
okay.
I would be just. I would be very sad and upset if my country turns into the country.
But you're a good Christian man. I admire you for it. I would
be
right?
very, very
but
sad.
I admire you for your Christianity. But don't be naive. Don't be a fool.
I'm not naive, believe you me. But I would be very sad. I don't like people being angry. And anger is a lot of the problem.
Well, you'd be pretty angry if you were where you were living, right? And suddenly 200 people came in who you knew nothing about,
How about the 200?
and no language, no anything.
Wait, hold on. You just said about that. We go back to Paddy Go to England. How many boatloads of men went to live in ghettos in England?
Yeah, sure. Kilburn,
Yeah,
you name it.
I know, but they
Sure.
weren't shown the door. They still got accommodation,
Yeah.
but there wasn't marches going round the place. They're murderers,
Okay,
they're
you go to
rapists,
all the
everything.
the Irish people.
We forget so much about what happened to us in the 50s.
All the Irish
60s.
people that went to Birmingham, right, in the 50s and 60s,
Yeah.
they built their own houses. They were living in all those places, right?
Yeah.
You go there today, there's not a single Irishman there. They're all Muslims. They're all Muslims there. What happened to the Irish?
Well, now, my next door neighbour has a son and daughter, and they're coming from Birmingham. And they go back and forth every year.
Yeah.
So don't be saying Birmingham is full of it's a huge Irish community. Go to London, look at Luton,
Yeah.
Watford, massive Irish communities. They're still living. They still have an Asian community.
Well, I'm just telling you, if you go to certain areas in Birmingham now,
Hey, you
they will
got
not be.
certain areas
They were Irish there before, and they're no longer Irish now. In certain places, they're not saying that not in other
Was there
places.
marches put up against them?
Oh, I don't know.
went in the 50s and 60s, like the marches on blocked roads.
Well, there was plenty of opposition to the Irish.
Were the marchers put up against them?
Marchers.
Were the roads blocked? Was stopping Irish coming in? Was
Well,
the roads blocked? Was the marchers stopped?
Yeah.
Were the motorways blocked for immigrants?
Well, I'm telling you.
Was the airports being blocked?
Yeah.
As what happened, people trying, as you said, people, Irish people, as you say yourself,
Yeah.
we look after the Irish. We weren't looking after Irish and just tried to go away on a holiday or go somewhere
Sure,
and you're
sure.
blocking the airports.
Yes. Yeah.
And you think that's fair on your fellow Irishman?
Of course not. No, of course not. No,
And it
no,
has
no.
been done. Am I right or am I wrong?
Well, you're right.
there you
Absolutely. So, thanks for your views now.
Yeah, right here.
You still won't get the paper though, no?
I wouldn't even like the fire with it.
But it's great for lighting the fire. But it's a great cure for insomnia as well.
Make you think about things.
Now, you want a free paper?
Oh, thanks, your grand.
Okay. Want a free paper?
Oh yeah.
You share it too. Right. Hello, anybody for a free paper?
No, thank you.
It's an amazing course, isn't it?
Yeah.
Free newspaper. Okay. Free newspaper. No. Okay. Well, it's called the Irish Light.
And
It's Jim O'Doherty and John Waters edited this paper.
Jim O'Doherty.
No, Jim O'Doherty. Have you heard of her? No.
No.
You've heard of John Waters, though, have you?
John Waters, yeah, he was, and yeah, briefly. He was the journalist and he was,
Yeah.
yeah,
He's right for the Irish Times sometime.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
So-
definitely outspoken, definitely opinionated.
Oh, absolutely.
Smart.
Well, yeah. Well, does
Does he hit the mark? But you're,
he writes
so
all
is
that.
this newspaper, is this part of a, is this,
Well, it's not available in the shops. Well, we give them out free, you see. Jim she spends 3,000 on. It's an English paper. It's an Irish version of an English paper. There's
say
articles.
that again, it's
It's an English. Well, there's a paper called The Light in English,
okay.
and this is the Irish Light.
Is this a political?
Oh, very political.
Okay.
Yeah.
And which side is it, left or right or?
Well, it's anti-establishment.
Establishment.
Yeah.
You
Well,
would
it
be
wouldn't be
supportive of this.
against
I'm
that.
sussing you out.
Oh, I would. Yeah, I would be supportive of it. Yeah.
Could I have a copy of it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Want free paper? Sorry. Free paper. Okay. Sure. Good. How about you? You want one as well? No, it's all. This man wants one as well. How about you? No? You want one as well? No? No? Okay. Sorry. Any more for a free newspaper? No? No, okay. Hiya, on a free newspaper. I'll give it a try.
Oh, you might as well.
I give it all the news that you don't get in RT, you know.
Good man.
Right. You're from Cork anyhow, yeah?
Keep me reading for the night. No, Limerick.
Oh, Limerick! Oh, you must be delighted with yourselves.
Oh, sure.
It's great, fantastic, isn't it?
Deadly. Thank you.
Right, we met Limerick supporters out in Lourdes and they were going chanting the four in a row, you know. By the way, listen, I had my experience, I'll tell you this. 1964, I was at a match in Limerick and Waterford playing in Cork in the Munster Championship. That time it was knockout, right?
That's right.
And I was standing near the goal and a Limerick player must have doubled on the ball. It came in so fast, right? And he went in to show the umpire that the ball had gone through the net.
That's right.
And the umpire just put up for a point.
That's right.
And they lost by 2 points.
It's the same again yesterday, so isn't it?
Yeah.
Yesterday he hit the ball through the net.
Yeah.
On the net,
Yeah.
That's Christ. Thanks for that.
Okay, sure. Hi, free newspaper. Oh yeah. Hi. Hi, I'd like a free newspaper. Free newspaper. We're giving away a free newspaper.
What's the newspaper?
Well, it's a national newspaper, right? It's kind of an Irish version of an English paper, but it gives you all the news you don't get in RT.
So I read this in the library the other day, and I thought it was the most shocking garbage I ever read in my whole life.
Really, yeah?
I thought it was
What's wrong with
disgraceful. Everything, even the writing. I was saying this to my wife. It's not just the content. John Waters used to write for the Irish Times. I read this article before. The Irish government is guilty of actual racism on innumerable accounts.
Yes.
Even as a writer of English, it's shocking. The standard and quality of the paper is truly appalling.
Yes.
I'd go on to John Waters if I were you, and I'd say, John, even if you're going to write stuff, which in my opinion at least, go away from me lads now for a second, is garbage, at least write it well.
Yeah.
Like, there's an article in here now, where is the second? LG. Yeah. I mean, if you want to make a point about LGBTP having too big an influence on Irish kids, there's an argument to be made there. At least measure your words so people can take you seriously. When Tibet is full of Chinese, it's genocide. Like, when you make your point too strongly, you totally undermine your case and you destroy your credibility.
Yeah, but sometimes people feel they have to push the button that bit further, you know, to get the point across.
If you push the button too far, people will stop taking you seriously. There are arguments you could make about LGBT stuff and kids and keeping it away from kids who are too young. They don't need to hear it and all that.
Yeah.
But when you make the case that strongly, people, I think, just say, okay, this person is off the wall.
Yes.
To be honest, that's what I think they're doing.
How were you there? I was in the library, yeah.
I was in the library, yeah. I don't know, did someone leave it there or...
Oh, yeah.
Not up you get.
Can you see? Yeah, but
he's letting himself down. And they all are, by writing articles in a way, come on, that totally undermine their own credibility.
Yeah, but if you want, I can give you his email if you want to write to him.
No, I'm grand, thanks. You can relay the message. I think the message will be clear.
Yes.
Well, I don't know anybody in my own circle of friends who take Gemma Doherty and John Waters seriously anymore.
Yes.
Because of the way they write. They write things in a language that is just totally unmeasured. And if you write that way, there's a cost to be paid, and the cost is your credibility.
Yeah, but you see, the whole credibility of the government and so on, it shatters because
it is damaged in many ways.
Yeah.
But fighting fire with fire just ruins the credibility of the people who have arguments to make. Like they have arguments to make, but if you're comparing Ireland with Tibet, or people will stop listening to you. I think you could make a good forceful argument. I know it's hard to get traction when you want to make an argument like that, because there is a kind of a liberal consensus. I know you're not going to be listened to, but you're going to be listened to even less when I think when they write, like you're going too hard.
But you see, we live in a society now. I mean, Gemma Doherty and John Waters could not speak at a public meeting in Ireland now because Antifa will be there to knock them. They will ring the hotels and tell them we will not, you know.
I know, and it's terrible. Like the attack on free speech is terrible. And I think for those people, even if they did write well, they'd still attack them. So the Antifa crowd are lost as well.
Yes.
They're lost. They're gone. There's no point. They're never going to amount to anything. But I think there are a lot of people who would be receptive to a more conservative message, but not if it's put in a way that's...
But where is the debate on the national news? There's nothing.
There's no debate.
Yeah.
There's no debate on COVID or masks or how effective they were, the vaccine or anything like that. Give me a second.
Yeah.
But I know in the absence of a debate it can drive people mad.
Yeah.
It's like, geez, why is nobody else looking at how effective the vaccines were? And myself and my friend always talk about it on the prom. There's never any debate. Did it work? Did it not work? I get all that. But I'm receptive to a message that is put well, but it's free of facts.
I've done a 10-year study of RIP.ie, right? We had the lowest deaths in Ireland in 2020, the year of the pandemic. The deaths actually went down. Donegal had 23% less deaths than previously, right? But as soon as vaccines came in, it went up by 11%, then 17%, and now it's 24%.
But isn't it hard to say what was the vaccine and what was the effect of COVID itself.
Well, the number of people who have died from, I just looked today, from respiratory illnesses and from Alzheimer's has radically gone down. Radically gone down. So if COVID is a respiratory virus, how come all these deaths have gone way down? But do you know, for instance, that the number of people dying suddenly has gone up by 1,200% in Waterford since 2018?
I don't know if that's believable.
Okay.
Where'd you get that?
I've gone through all the death notices, right?
But in RIP.ie they don't give the cause of death, do they?
What sometimes do, persons die suddenly, unexpectedly, right? But when you go to the condolences, you find the comments there, you say, shock at the death of so-and-so, or untimely death.
But sometimes people are trying to be diplomatic and it's actually suicide or something like that.
Well, no, if there's suicide, they said it was a tragic death. That's the code word for suicide, you see.
I think you're hanging too much on too little. You could be right, but
well, the thing
there's
is,
surely better places. It's not like a coroner's report for everyone rather than RIP, where you can find out what they died of.
You see, like 51% of the deaths, they're not even told where they died. Like, were they died in the hospital? Did they die home? Did they die, abroad? Did they die by accident? I mean, for instance, the argument was made that the reason there was less deaths in 2020 because there were no accidents. There were very few accidents, right? But I went through 6 years of RIP and there wasn't a single car accident in Waterford. There was one man died and a rally driver died.
But that's not. But RIP isn't a good source for that kind of information, is it? Because they're not going to tell you what the cause of death was.
Yeah, but
there might be clues, but it's hard to rely on clues. Wouldn't you be better off going to the coroners?
Yeah, but it's backed up by the CSO figures. Back it up as well.
Well, if you were talking about the CSO, I'd believe you, but RIP seems a bit flimsy.
Yeah, well, you see, if you, there's a book called Dying Suddenly called by Ed Dowd, right? In America. Right. He's gone through these things. He's a top guy. He was a top guy in finance and shares and so on. His mathematics is precise, Right. But he tells you worldwide. Yeah. And the awful thing is,
so he's saying the vaccines are causing the deaths.
Well, he said, the link is you add two and two together, Well, what was the?
It's not that clear. There might be an argument there, but it's not going to be that clear.
Well,
personally, myself,
it's one factor. The one factor that was different.
Do you think they were? I doubt you think they were effective. So, do you think they were just useless or damaging?
Well, first of all, COVID-19 was never proven to actually exist. I mean, General Authority challenged the Department of Health to put it into a test tube, uncontaminated. The same in Britain, the same in CDC.
General Authority doesn't know anything about test tubes. And is that how you do it? Is that how you?
Of course you do it that way. I mean,
why of course?
Well, you see, if a vaccine, when the vaccine works, the vaccine is.
Hold on. Is a test tube the best place to find? Is that how you find out viruses? You put them in test tubes and you see them.
Yes. That's what scientists do. Yeah, absolutely. Under the microscope.
But in test tubes.
Well,
you don't put a test tube under a microscope, for instance. Don't you put one of those sliding things?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so is that what she's looking for?
well,
it's the sliding glass. Yeah.
The sliding glass. I don't know what you're looking for, but I don't think she does.
Oh, okay. They did it in Alberta, in Montana. There was a court case, and the government they said that they were about restrictions. They were, they were up and tried for breaking restrictions, and they asked the government to produce the evidence for it. And the Alberta government said, we don't have it, and it doesn't matter anyhow.
Personally, and my opinion counts for little because I'm not an expert in it, I don't think COVID was as dangerous as we first thought. I think the vaccines were a total waste of money. And some of the lockdowns and stuff were ultimately counterproductive, especially for kids.
Which country had the less deaths? Of all countries in the world, which country had the less deaths of any other country?
Of excess deaths?
Yeah. So less deaths would say, right?
But obviously people die all the time. You're trying to attribute one to COVID and not to natural causes. So you're looking for the excess deaths overall.
Okay, let's say excess deaths, right? Which
country? I don't know.
Sweden. The one country that didn't lock down.
Is it that clear cut?
Well, that's what
I know Sweden didn't lock down, but I didn't think it was that clear cut that COVID were definitely the best. I thought there was like an argument, but there's also a counter argument that maybe it was here, maybe it was there.
But just Sweden didn't lock down.
I know Sweden didn't lock down,
Yeah.
but is it clear cut that Sweden is the best in terms of excess deaths?
Oh, it is, yeah. I mean, that's the figures came out there. I said, if you
From
give me,
where?
if you give me your email address, I'll send it to you.
Oh, to be honest with you, I don't. So I'm not going to look into it that deeply. I have a friend who's into it a little bit more, and he'd be against vaccines more than anything. But he wouldn't argue that COVID didn't exist. I think when you go that extra mile and say the whole thing was a farce or didn't happen,
Well, what's it, a hoax?
no, it wasn't. It's believable that the thing wasn't as dangerous as we first thought. But when you say it's a hoax, aren't you really sacrificing?
Yeah, but see, there are a lot of things that we take for granted that are true. Like the fake
There's a lot
landing.
of things. There's a lot. Show me your list. There's a lot of things we need to take seriously because we don't have the and it's a sad fact, but it seems sad and true
Yeah.
that we don't have the expertise to know whether they're true or not. So we have to, sadly, in a modern society, rely a little bit on blind faith. But you reckon that's true?
Yeah, but
Stop reading.
sorry, I'm holding up there. No,
you're not talking.
but wouldn't you rely on, for instance, virologists who have everything to lose, nothing to gain, who don't work for corporations, don't work for government? Would you not think that they are credible? Those people, like,
Yeah, but there will be mixed opinion there. There'll be no consensus. Won't there not? Like UCC or Trinity or all these lads, these professors. Like they're not all on one side or the other. Where are most of them though? Are most of them not on the side of believing that it was?
The people who had contradictory views were censored and they reported
true.
medical council. So why is that?
I mean,
Well, I think a lot of them were low-level GPs,
Jerry-
high-level professors, were they?
No, I wouldn't.
Jerry Waters.
No, like Pat Morrissey, Jerry Waters, Dr. Ann McCluskey, they'd all be very highly thought.
give it back.
Dr. Vincent Harold.
well, Jerry Waters is 70 years of age. He's been medicine for many years. He opened a sterilising unit in
I'll take your word for
Selbridge.
it. I don't know the man at all, but it does seem though to be the case that the overwhelming balance of experts is on the side of believing it's true.
Yeah, but a lot of those experts are working for corporations and for governments.
A good few of them are, but there's still so many more, let's say, working in third-level institutions.
Well, look at Pfizer. They had to pay out billions in compensation to people for damages.
For the vaccine being
No, before the vaccine rollout,
Yeah.
past damages.
Are you aware what the
for COVID vaccines now for
No,
some
for vaccines in general.
yeah? But the deputy head of Pfizer went to the European Parliament and said we never tested it for transmission in late 2020.
Oh, that's bullshit. Like that's well proven. That
Yeah.
it never did nothing for transmission. They were overselling it.
Yeah.
So they oversold it. It was a waste of money, but
Yes.
but it did. It did exist, albeit not as deadly as we first thought it was. That'd be my opinion. But getting back to I think Gemma and John are. I get that it must be frustrating when you're silenced and when
Yes.
people turn up to shout you down. But the answer to that is not to take a more extreme position, which I think sadly the two of them have done. And in doing so, less people are willing to listen because it's easy to demonise them. If you write stuff like that, it'll be easy to dismiss you and demonise you, which is sad because the country
if they
needs a
can,
debate.
yeah, but if they can be proven wrong, that's true. But I mean, where are they wrong?
Where's
you
the
know?
goods? Where's the proof?
Well,
There's evidence maybe here. There's arguments
Well,
there, but it's a bit mixed.
you take it the people coming in, flushing their passports down the toilet, and they're getting to the country. I mean, I went out to Lourdes.
I know that's rubbish. That's a different thing. That's total. No one's going to call that for what it is. That's just people who want to come in without just cause.
Yes, yeah.
But you
When
can't
it
respond
lands on
to
this
that
side,
by saying
what,
Tibet
what
and all
side
that.
will it
Like,
be? It's going to be heads.
just stick to the
What?
argument.
It's gonna
Leave
be
emotion
heads.
out of it. There's
look,
obviously
I
people
won't
coming
look
in
down, it's
who are
really
chancing their arm, flushing passports down toilets.
When it lands on
But-
this side, it's going to be heads.
People aren't going to take you seriously
isn't, you have to
you
give
write
me
stuff
it.
like that's in that.
Yes.
I don't think I get it's frustrating, but again, I just think
Yeah, but wouldn't it be
there's a better
great
way of going about it.
if they could be challenged in a debate on prime time? But they can't. They won't be.
But they're never going to be left on prime time now. And every article they produce like that just diminishes the chances of never being invited back.
Yeah, but I mean, you go back to the late 60s, like the Late Late Show. They had all sorts of characters on that. I mean, Brian Travascus said that Bishop of Galway was a moron for building Galway Cathedral. He was allowed to say that on the Late Late Show. There was a controversy for a little while, but the poor man committed suicide not long afterwards, you know. But like, there was a debate on it. People didn't censor him or ban him.
I think Gemma and John are giving up on being taken seriously. They're giving up on ever getting mainstream again. They're giving up on the late.
Well,
they're giving up on RT.
There was petitions made for Ivor Cullen to get on to the late or Professor Dolores Cahill were both highly qualified.
Wasn't Dolores Cahill not a professor in something different to virology or biology?
And immunology, yeah.
Is she immunology? Is that what she
immunology and virology.
Is that her expertise?
It's definitely immunology and something else. I can't remember now, but it would be virology.
I thought she was like history or something.
Yeah.
No, she was in Trinity.
Yeah.
I know that, but was she an expert in the field, in some sort of field relevant to vaccines?
The immunology and something else.
Okay,
I forget now because it's 3
I thought
years ago.
I thought it was something different. Anyway,
probably was virology.
look, it was good talking to you.
All right, I'm telling you, if Gay Byrne was still on the Late Late Show, the first thing he'd have done, he'd have in a Cork when he got out of jail, he'd have had him on the Late Late Show, and he'd have a debate.
There's another fellow who shot himself in the foot. Jesus.
Yeah, but we're supposed to be a liberal democracy. A liberal democracy, and we throw a fellow in jail, an innocent man in jail, for going to his conscience.
I know, and I think that in the end, if he just behaves himself, he'll actually be reinstated. But he has to behave himself. He's totally shooting himself in the foot.
But he can't go along with something he doesn't believe.
Okay, rocking up to the school and standing at the gates. Well, even when you're fined $1,500 a day or whatever it is, I think he would strategically, he's not making any.
Yeah.
And the way his sister and his mother behave like headaballs in court. I mean, geez, you can't walk into court and behave like that and then expect people to take you seriously. They're not.
Some of the most violent criminals have gone into the courts, right? But I've never seen them being fired on the ground like his sister was.
She was shouting and roaring like a lunatic. She got off life as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I mean, that's no way to treat a woman.
Absolutely. Feck a woman. Woman, man, old man. If you walk into the court, if you're asked to stay quiet, you're going to be in contempt of court if you keep roaring and shouting. And you keep roaring and shouting. I mean, just calm down and make your argument. I actually think he has an argument. If he could just behave, he'll get to the Supreme Court and he'll win. Yes. I reckon he'll win.
Really, yeah.
But he's poisoning his own chance of winning.
Yeah.
Because he won't behave.
Yeah.
Like, be a bit of strategy.
Yes. Yeah.
Sometimes you have to just bite your lip, behave yourself, wait, play the long game, and you'll win. I reckon even after all this, he'll still probably win. But he's diminishing his own chances there.
Well, then the 1916 leaders didn't behave themselves, did they?
Yeah, well, let's not rope that into. Anyway, listen, I'll let you go.
Okay, thanks for talking to us. Thanks. Right. Free newspaper. Like a free newspaper?
Please.
Huh?
Yeah.
They're free.
Oh, they're free.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Okay. Are you ready for a free newspaper? Free newspaper?
Oh, sure.
There's light.
Alright, thank you very much.
Okay, enjoy it. Are you okay? It's yours.
Yeah, the one.
Yeah. Hiya. Hello. Like a free newspaper?
Sorry.
We're giving away a free newspaper called the Irish Light.
Lovely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Enjoy that now. Hi, like a free newspaper?
Sorry?
We've given away a free newspaper.
I'm alright, thanks.
Well,
John, I keep saying it.
The media. We're
Paddy
terrified of
already-
the media, apparently.
Paddy already had a thing on there last week. He sent me an email about some priest
yeah.
that was going to have a mass. He's going to give a talk. Did you see that?
Well, no, the Father in Barrow, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Pro-life. He should have been on WLR and RTE.
They wouldn't get
Not
on.
just. But
Yeah, but Paddy,
that's the
Even
point, you see.
Bishop Fonzie wouldn't let him say that.
We were up in Monday with
Warfare.
Patty. He said, Nick, tomorrow we're heading for WNR, he said.
Yeah, but that's the
never-
point.
they
Even
wouldn't
with
have
this, no, but even with this paper, you're entitled to be on WLR,
Yeah.
and you're
But sure, of course.
entitled to advertise.
We're
But you have to take
going
them on.
into
But
Damien
don't
Tierney
allow
in
you,
some days
Henry.
with the
We were
figures.
going to confront, we are going in to WLR and confront them on the figures. I'm just finished them now.
What the pro-life have to do in this country is they have to sit down with their legal team and say, how can we get more access to the media in this country?
Well, the way
because when in the street, how many abortions were in Ireland this year? They can't tell you, and do you know why they can't tell you?
Why?
Do you know what? Because they're
grift
not
isn't
being
big enough
told
yet.
it. They're not hearing it on the media.
Yeah.
That's the
The
reason.
RTE,
yes.
That's what
RTE
controls
are-
everything, nothing else.
Yeah.
RTE
Yeah, but
are
It's the media
insisting,
controls
Yeah, but the
everything.
RT News will
are
say
insisting that
so
you
many
pay the
women-
license fee.
so,
Grift are looking for donations.
what the RT will say was so many women terminated their pregnancies. That's the way they put it.
The problem isn't the politicians in this country. Pro-life keep blaming the politicians. They're not the problem. The problem is the ordinary person in the street. John will tell you himself, what politicians do is they send out their feelers.
Yeah.
And they pick up, they get what way people are thinking and are feeling.
Yeah.
And that's what they go by. And then people think it's the politicians that are pushing it.
That's
It's
the focus
people.
groups. That's the focus groups.
Yeah, but but they have But the point about it is, they're controlling the ordinary man in the street.
Yeah.
How did pro-life manage to turn the tide in this country? They dominated the media for years, and people believed them.
Yeah.
And that's what pro-life have to do.
Sure. Yeah.
The media were very
Yeah.
bad
And
in
like,
1983 as well.
no, but your case, like when you were when you were brought to court for breaking this law, that law, and the other law
Several
against
times.
COVID,
Yeah.
and you were crucified and mocked and ridiculed.
Yeah.
What you should have done was you should have gone on to the media and said, "No, all
Well,
of
we
you,
did. We
all
had
of
no
you,
RTE coming to support
yeah,
us.
I never heard you on WLR, didn't hear you on RT, Joe Duffy. You should have been on there and saying, look,
We had a
all
huge
you
platform.
people out
Look,
there that said,
Damien Tiernan went on radio when we
Yeah.
gave out the leaflets in Ferrybank one night, right? The following
Yeah.
day he was on. These people are balmy, he said.
well,
Yeah.
you should have gone and picketed outside WLR and said, I'm entitled to defend myself
Yes,
and to
yeah,
give my
yeah,
side of the
yeah,
story.
yeah,
And that's the problem, you see. And even if you have to go to a solicitor and sit down with the solicitor and send them a letter,
Yeah, but following that, he quoted a fellow who rang in, and he said those people who are coming out against the vaccine, the riot squad should hose them down.
And fire them to Liffey.
And Damien Tiernan approved it.
you should have rang your solicitor and said, I need to sit down and this needs to be challenged.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I need to do it through I have a right to do it through the media.
Yes.
You see, you're not doing that. Everybody's talking amongst themselves.
Look, Henry,
You have to stop that,
No,
John.
in the early part of this whole thing, right? I was in Arcade Stores. Damien Tiernan was in there, and when he saw me, keep with me.
Yeah.
You know, what do you do with a guy like that?
You take him on.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you done that to a gay man
But we-
or a gay woman,
Yeah.
you'd be all over the media.
Yes. Of course you
You'd
would.
be
Yeah.
reported to the guards.
Yeah.
See, he treats you the same way, and this is the problem. They're the only crowd you have to take on in this country, not the church,
Yeah, but Henry,
not the politicians. Forget about it.
Tony Rafters wouldn't wear
The media.
a face covering. Tony Rafters, a gay man, wouldn't wear a face covering. He was up in court in Kilkenny about it because he went to a pharmacy that went on, right? He was refused custom in the Arcane Stores. The fellow walked away. He wouldn't serve him, right? We went up to the court to support him. This gay man, right? And
Right.
where was his gay friends? None of them are around. We were the ones. And then they were
You
accused us
see,
of
this
homophobia.
UN Agenda 2030.
But get on the media and say, look, you're entitled
Henry,
to have...
Henry,
yeah,
this,
that's where the battle is in this country.
Henry, this agenda for the last 3 years was tried in 2009, but they didn't get away with it. Do you know why?
Who didn't get away with it?
The elites, the globalist elites.
Yeah.
Do you know why they didn't get away with it?
Why?
Because Channel 4 did investigative journalism. They exposed what was going on.
Yeah.
They stopped it in its tracks. Whereas in 2020, the honesty in the media, any honesty that was there, was gone. So they're able to swing, they're able to say the one narrative and say that this thing is real without it being questioned.
I'm telling you, Henry, I'm just finishing the figures now, right? There's a woman, I met a woman there up in Michael Hoolan introduced me to her, right? She works up in Ballybricken in the charity shop, right? Her son, 46, went upstairs one night and he dropped dead. She's in absolutely tatters, you know? I would bring that woman into WLR and confront Damien Tiernan and say, what reply do you have to this woman?
But that's what needs to be done.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
not happening.
yeah.
And
But
that's
I
not
will
happening.
be doing.
That's
Tell
not
you what,
happening.
the day
and
we're
if you
doing
refuse
it,
it, then
right,
you'll be hearing from my solicitor.
right, the day we're going to WLR, will you come along as well?
I will.
Okay,
by all
fine,
means.
grand.
By all
And encourage other people to
I mean,
donate.
Since abortion was legalised in this country, how many abortions were?
31,000 something.
Ask those they don't know that. That shouldn't be kept from. That's been kept from deliberately being kept from the people.
I know.
And how many babies are down in Cork who were born and they were left to die? Over 100. They survived abortions. They survived abortions.
Yeah.
That
has to be highlighted.
Yeah.
You have a right to have your voice heard.
Yeah.
And this, you have to take on it legally. The media have to be taken on. I wouldn't give pro-life a penny.
Yes.
Because all the money's been used in the wrong way.
Well, don't pay the license fee.
I don't. I haven't paid.
Oh, good.
You're not going to pay it?
And it's
No, I didn't pay. Well, I wasn't paying it anyway.
Well, it's
communism where the demand
people are
paid.
writing in the envelope, return to sender, Ryan Tuberty.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that. As if you didn't know, But no, that's what has to be. The media have to be. It's the only way the battle for pro-life is going to be won. Forget about all these rallies and all this. You're talking amongst yourselves. Means nothing.
It was in 2020 that everyone could see the power of the media with all the lives that went on. Was the lockdowns came
Because pro-choice said to themselves, now we are going to take the media on. And they took them on, and the media had to give them the right to have their voice on. Pro-life have to do the same thing.
Well, they did it over a period since 1983.
Anyone a free newspaper?
In relation to you.
Right.
Thanks very much.
Anybody else? Free newspaper? Okay, there you are.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Not at all, yeah. Oh yeah, hello. Like a free newspaper? You're giving away a free newspaper.
Yeah,
No.
I read a newspaper and it could do worse here, couldn't I?
Of course.
Yeah.
Sure.
Irish Life.
Yeah, it's a national newspaper now. It's not a local paper, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting enough. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
enjoy it now. Free newspaper?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Good on you.
Oh yeah.
Hand them out.
June, yeah.
Yeah. I'll take one. You hand them out. Yeah,
sure,
definitely.
Yeah.
Super. That's great. Thanks very much. People are getting much response, are you?
Oh yeah, we get handed
good.
about 20 and 15 of them at least tonight, yeah, so far,
great.
yeah. Up and down the common here, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Dave loves this, yeah. Super.
Yeah,
Super.
you
Thanks,
should
guys.
enjoy it
Thanks
now.
a million. Thank you.
Good on, see ya. Yeah. Right. Your newspaper?
The Irish Light.
Yes. You're aware of John O'Doherty and John Waters.
Sorry?
If you're involved with Radio Maria, you must be aware of John Waters and Jim O'Doherty. They're the editors.
Is it like the Irish Catholic?
No. It's an English, a version of an English paper, but it's current affairs. Now, Father Sheehy has an article in it.
Oh right.
And so it explains there about the tomb deception, the tomb baby's deception.
Brian Nugent's article.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Oh right.
Historian.
Yeah.
Here, I'll take it anyway. I'll have a look at it.
Yeah. Okay. Free newspaper?
No thanks, no.
You sure?
100%.
Well, even the chips would be great. Pass on to read it now, you know.
But you know what, I will read it.
Oh yes.
Thank you.
I'm a good salesman, so.